Summer is here. Well, I'm sitting here in Singapore, right? So it's summer every day here, hot and clammy pretty much year round. But still, it's my favorite season, and I'm absolutely buzzing with that summer energy. Summer is such an interesting contradiction. In some ways, it's all about chilling and slowing down, right? Sunshine, fun, pop music, maybe some beach time or reading a book by the pool with a frozen drink in hand. It's a virgin mojito for me. Enjoying the outdoors, golden hour, drinks with friends, beautiful long evenings. But then in other ways, it's also complete chaos. Our routines, they're gone. We're traveling, we're staying up too late, we're eating ice cream for dinner. I don't have kids, but if you do, they're probably off school and they're probably in your house right now all day long. We're literally halfway through 2025, which means we've got 6 whole months left to make this year amazing. While we're living our best lives this summer, it's actually also the perfect time to pause and check in with ourselves. So today I'm mixing things up a little bit. Today I'm your coach, and together, you and we're doing what I call a summer reset. And listen, I need you to actually do this with me. Go grab a drink, find a cozy spot, put on your trainers to go for a walk. Let's have the most honest conversation you've had with yourself in months. And let's figure out how to make the rest of 2025 absolutely incredible. Ready? Let's go. Hey, I'm Noemi, former queen of bad habits and corporate go-getter turned well-being coach and personal growth junkie. And in a world full of overwhelming wellness advice, we're here to cut through the noise. This is your space to master healthy habits, transform your mindset, own your well-being, and design a life you love on your terms. We're ditching the highlight reels and embracing the whole messy, imperfect journey towards becoming our absolute best selves. You're the author of your own story. So are you ready to write the next chapter? Let's go, and welcome to Unwritten Potential. Shall we begin with a proper, honest mid-year check-in? And when I say honest, I mean brutally honest. It's just you and me here, and I can't actually hear you. And here's why it's the perfect time to do this. Because mid-year check-ins are way more effective than January goal setting. We're not in that new year, new me kind of fantasy. It's July. We're dealing with reality now. I want you to actually think about the questions I'm about to ask. Don't just nod along like, yeah, Noemi, got it. Actually pause and think. If you need more time at any point, just pause me. This is your session. I'll be here when you come back. And the first question, what's actually happened in your life so far this year? Think the big stuff, the small stuff, the weird stuff. I'm talking about everything, the promotions, the breakups, the new business, the new friendships, the habits you started, the habits you stopped, the trips you took, the things you learned. Just give yourself a proper mental recap. What's actually happened in your life this year so far? Next, how do you feel about how 2025 has gone so far? And I mean really feel, not what you think you should feel. Are you proud? Maybe disappointed? Surprised? A bit of everything? There's no right answer here. Just notice what comes up for you when you think about how your year has gone so far. What are you learning about yourself from how this year has played out? Like, are you someone who needs more structure, less? Do you realize that you're thriving with big challenges, or maybe you prefer small, steady progress? What's working for you? What's definitely not working? Basically, what are you learning about your operating system? Looking at where you are right now versus where you thought you'd be in January, what needs to shift? Maybe you set goals that don't actually fit your life anymore, that just don't make sense. Maybe you're further along than you thought you'd be. maybe in a completely different place than you expected. And what would need to change for the next 6 months to feel really good? So, as you're reflecting, how are you feeling? Getting a clearer picture of your year? Maybe realizing some things you hadn't quite connected, quite put together before? If you are, great. That's exactly where we need to be for the next bit. Okay, now we're getting into the fun stuff. What do you actually want this summer to feel like? And as a habit and well being coach, I use this thing called values clarification all the time with my clients. Now, I know it sounds a bit fluffy. It's not. It's one of the most powerful tools for sustainable behavior change. And that's because you need alignment between your values and the way you live your life. And here's the reality summer can be messy. So when everything gets a bit disrupted or chaotic or just slowing down, it's a great opportunity to think about what you want to be your North Star. If you had to pick 3 words, values, for your ideal summer vibe, what would they be? Mine, fun, connection, and ease. But back to you. And here's the deeper question. If you're thinking of these values, if you're thinking of 3 words for your ideal summer vibe, what do those words actually mean to you? If adventure is one of your words, does that mean traveling to Bali or does it mean signing up for a new learning experience? Your version of adventure is probably going to be completely different from mine. And that's the whole point. This is about your non negotiable. Maybe it's your workout. Maybe it's your morning coffee ritual. Maybe it's Sunday dinners with your people. Maybe it's that 20 minutes you spend scrolling TikTok in bed. Hey, it's a no judgment zone here. But here comes the reality check part. You literally cannot do it all. There's research on this too, of course, and it's called decision fatigue. And it's why trying to optimize everything all the time actually makes us less happy and more stressed. Which leads me to my next question for you. What deserves your energy? Not what you think you should care about. What do you actually want to prioritize for the next couple of weeks or the next 2 months? If it helps, think about this. When you're 80-year-old and looking back on this summer, what would you want to remember? What would make you smile? Now that you know how you want your summer to feel, let's talk about actually making it happen. Right, this is where we stop thinking, we stop reflecting, and we start doing something about it. And we're not doing a complete life overhaul here. This is in January where we pretend somehow we're going to become completely different people who wake up at 5 a.m. and drink green smoothies and do half an hour of meditation. This is summer. It's the season to try one small thing. If you've been following this podcast for the last few weeks, you may know I love micro habits. And we work on micro habits with my clients all the time. And micro habits are way more effective than big dramatic changes to really implement sustainable behavior change. Look back at everything we just talked about. So looking at everything we just talked about, what's one small thing? What's the one thing that keeps poking at you? You know what I mean? That thing that made you think, oh, I really should, or my life would feel so much better if I just fill in the blanks. So here's the coaching question for you. What's your brain telling you about why you can't do it? Like, if part of you is going, I want to do this small thing, but I don't have time or I'm not good at that. What's really underneath that? What is that voice trying to protect you from? Because sometimes our resistance is actually pretty smart. So what's the tiniest version of that thing you could do? I'm talking embarrassingly small. What could you commit to for this summer season? If it's exercise, maybe it's 10-minute walk. If it's being creative, maybe it's doodling for 3 minutes. If it's connecting with people, maybe it's sending one text to someone you've been thinking about. And here's the key. Don't just pick something small and call it a day. Pick something small that actually connects to those values we talked about earlier. That's how tiny changes turn into the life you actually want. Okay, last thing, and honestly, this might be the most important part of this whole episode. You've heard of self-compassion, and research shows it's actually more motivating than being hard on yourself. Really. So what permission do you want to give yourself this summer? Maybe it's permission to rest without having to earn it, to say no to plans that just sound exhausting, to change your mind about commitments you made when you were in a completely different headspace. Maybe it's permission to prioritize your energy over other people's expectations. Maybe it's giving yourself permission to eat the ice cream without feeling guilty. Maybe it's to be totally fine with, hey, it's okay. I'll just do this tomorrow. And here's a big one. What if you give yourself permission to want what you actually want? Not what you think you should want, not what would look good on Instagram, what you actually honestly want, even if it's weird, even if it doesn't make sense to your mom or your best friend. I want you to actually say it out loud. Seriously, I can't hear you, but say it anyway. I give myself permission to. Write it down if you need to. Screenshot this moment. This isn't just feel good fluff. This is you literally rewiring how you talk to yourself. And that, my friend, is everything. Okay, before we finish up, look at you. You just had an entire mini coaching session with yourself. That's more intentional than most people will get this entire summer. And here's what I want you to remember. This isn't about creating another plan you'll feel guilty about not following. This isn't about becoming perfect or having your life completely figured out this summer. This is about choosing what you want to care about being accountable to yourself in the least toxic way possible. You've got 6 months left in 2025, 6 months to make this year exactly what you want it to be. Not perfect. Nobody is asking for perfect, but intentional, but yours. So go enjoy your summer, messy, glorious, imperfect summer. You deserve every bit of it. I'm Noemi, and I really hope you enjoyed this episode. Now go drink some water, put on your favorite song, get some movement, and I will see you next week. You got this. Bye.